Hey there, start to the morning. Welcome to day 286 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we are going to breathe for physical health and well-being. Now here's what I like about this topic. We all already know how to do it, right? We've been breathing our entire life since out of the womb, boom, we could breathe. Now, breath work, I think it's something that's really underrated in terms of the power it has in order to help us create what it is that we want in our life, in order for us to show up the way we want to show up. And all of that impacts our physical health and well-being. Why? Because we need to breathe to exchange oxygen, to get oxygen to our cells so they can do the thing that they do for all the different types of cells in our body, right? It gives us clearer thinking. It helps us to feel better. It helps us to get more energy. It helps us to have what it is that we need in order to get about and get through our days. Now, I've never really had breathing problems during COVID one time, I guess. But for the most part, breathing has just always been pretty easy for me. But it wasn't until after my sudden cardiac arrest that I learned the power of intentional breathing, right? We breathe automatically, but how often do we breathe with intention? Intention to create a certain feeling or a certain reaction or just to refuel our body. So I'm going to share, I've got 4 different breathing techniques. There are literally thousands of them. A lot of gurus have their own, this is the way to breathe in order to calm down, relax, get whatever it is that they're promoting or whatever their thing is, right? We all have our own things that we like and that work for us. These are just some that have worked for me. And literally, I've done and tried dozens of different breathing techniques. Some of them I still use, some of them I don't. These are ones that I still use on a pretty regular basis, so it's easy to share them. And obviously, they work for me. If none of them work for you, just find something else that works for you. There's a ton of information on the internet, and there's lots of breathing experts. I am not one, but I do know that it's one of those tools I have in my toolbox to help me to change my state, change the way I feel, change the reaction I'm having, change my level of energy, etc. So most of these are to calm down and relax. Why might that be? Because I tend to be a very emotional person, right? When I was a little girl, I think I was probably about 8. And my dad coined the phrase, pop the cork, Sherry, because they used to call me Sherry. And it stuck, like, for most of my life. Following my sudden cardiac arrest, I made massive changes. And I don't think I've heard pop the cork since then. But up until that point, it would still pop up every once in a while. And as much as I kind of hated it when I was a kid, it did pull me back in and remind me that maybe my reaction was a little bit stronger than it needed to be for the situation. So, breath work, most of mine are about relaxing and calming. So the first one I'll share is the 5 to 11, where you inhale for a count of 5, hold it for a count of 2, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 11. So breathe in. Most of these, you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. When I'm meditating, I know the instructions are to breathe in from my nose and out through my mouth, but sometimes I breathe in from my nose and out through my nose because that's more relaxing to me. But the point is to get the relaxation as you're exhaling. The 4x4x4 box breathing is a really good one when you're feeling panicky or anxiety and you want to calm down. Breathe in for 4 through your nose, hold it for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4. Another one is I will actually count to 10. I will inhale for 10. I won't hold it for 10 always because sometimes that's too long, but I'll exhale for 10. That's when I really need to calm down and refocus. It's when something's got my attention or refocus because it's got my attention and I need a longer amount of time to rein myself in. And then the last one I'll share is the 777. You'll notice some are, like I said, everybody's got their own this, that for how to do different types of breathing. The whole point of all of them is to remind us to focus on our breath so that we can regain control and focus of whatever it is that's going on around us. Do you ever be in a situation where you can't control what's going on around you or what's going on is just totally crazy and out of your control and you don't know how to handle it? Well, this is something you can do and nobody else will even know you're doing it, but it'll help to reframe the situation, calm you down, and give you a chance to create the response that you want versus just automatically, reflectively acting in ways that you might later regret. Does anybody ever do that besides me? Of course we all do. So that's why I like breathwork so much. So what are we going to do today? I would say practice one or two of these, or look up other people's breath work exercises and try one of those on for size. But find at least one breath exercise or breath, they call it breath work activity that you will adopt for yourself today, because we all need to breathe, right? We breathe every day. And if you catch yourself shallow breathing, like breathing in your chest and not all the way in your stomach, that's also the point of these exercises. It's to get you really breathing all the way down to the bottom of your belly, holding it and then letting it go. And like I said, I love these because you can calm down and you can do this anywhere and nobody's going to even know you're doing it because everybody's already breathing. All right. Any questions about this? Any comments? Share them in the comments below. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing, physically healthy day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.